begin. Start with some 3v3. Okay. Where do we begin? We begin by getting beat 17. All right, can we make it? Oh man, this is a tough 3v3. Tough. All right, let's begin. I think we got you. Yep. What up, Veda? Lorena, hello. Nice to have you in tonight. See more people. We got a full slate tonight. My knee is throbbing tonight, but I am going to take it as long as I can with some agenda items because we definitely have some stuff to talk about. At Reset, do our normal thing. We got a few T11 updates. Want to do some live formation stuff with you and some gear formation stuff that I think will be great. Straight off the Operation Sandbox video that hit YouTube today. So hopefully you viewed it. If you didn't, please do after tonight, because probably makes sense for a lot of the stuff I'll be doing. You'll be able to do. What am I doing? Oh, because I got to switch my gorilla. All right. Most people, I think, we're good with missile the way it is. Go straight here and here and see what happens. Got this 3v3 is a grind this week, last 2 weeks. All right, let's see what we could do here. Chester, another strong one. I was getting beat by him the other night, but I got you tonight. Amazing what a little gear update will do. Gear updates, move some stuff around. All right, let's see what we got. Even if you're going to lose, make sure you took care of all your 3v3, please. It is free rewards, and I keep hearing people say they don't have enough rewards. And then you leave these honor points on the table because you're going to lose. And I don't care if you're going to lose or not. Just for participating, the game gives you those rewards. So take advantage. There are plenty of places to get rewards. You just have to actually play the game to get them. That's the point. So these are some easy ones. You can quickly just run the battles if you don't care or you're going to lose, just to get your rewards. If you're not going to rank, but I'll tell you, like if you look at your rankings, it matters. No matter where you lay to try to win. I think he pulled the old, I'm going to throw all my gear on here. So, he ain't winning this. No, sir. Get it through a few more of these, and I can show you some of these rewards. Yep, we're good there. Yeah, no doubt, Vader. It is strong players. And it's a grind. It's a grind. Like at the top, it's It's crazy. LNL is, I'm so that's another thing I'm tired of hearing over and over. People telling me how that server 81 is dead. It's not that good because all it is in is LNL. Man, let me tell you, LNL is all it takes. Like that whole team is near the top of the server. They're just a strong team, but sometimes when you have everybody who's strong in your server in one team, in one team, that's 100 people. So you're going to tell me you're going to look at another server and you're going to see their top. You're going to show me their top 100 and you're going to say, well, this server's strong. Look at their top 50 players. Okay, I'm going to show you the same thing on 81. You're just going to go, yeah, but that's one team. Who cares if the top 50 is what the top 50 is? If they all decide to play together, good for them because they're probably getting more rewards. So the joke's on you because they're sopping up all these rewards and getting from all of them paying. And all the alliance rewards coming into the same team, and then all the valor coming into the same team for finishing in the top 10 for 3-on-3. They're killing it out there. They're always tough in the season. Nobody wants to fight them. They just won a Warzone. They won our Warzone duel. Yeah, they won the Warzone duel. So yeah, they're kicking butt, man. So I don't know. It's a lot of jealousy out there. That's all I could say. This guy's really strong. So next time I'll have to try my gorilla on missile. I know that KOV is like really high. I know he's 7. I think I could beat him if I put missile on. I'm not beating Root, so this I can just kick. I'll only lose 1 anyway because he's way up there. So I don't waste time. If I'm fighting Koi, I think I could beat. If I put my Koi is strong. But I think I can beat Koi with my gorilla on my missile team. Yes, sir. Let's go. 28. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Oh, Koi again. Nice. It's at 27 this time. Yep. That's how you move up the ladder. You know what? We'll see if we get a revenge on Koi while we're kicking him. Might as well kick him while he's down. Yes, sir. Just do a little revenge on Koi and get another 26 in the bank. Bam. That's how it's done. Move right up that ladder. All right. Up to 1900. Oh, good. And then I run into King. Here's a wall. There's another one. Just throw that. Look at my missile. Beat him. I mean, that's a huge feather in my cap that I could beat even one of King's team because the guy is a beast. Vader knows. Guy is a beast. So, how does your missile beat Koi's there? You like that, huh? So if I run into Koi again, I can show you the battle and show you the matchup. Koi is incredibly nuts. It happened earlier last week when I first beat Koi, and I was sharing the screenshot on it because I was pretty proud. It was probably one of my biggest wins to date of any team that I've had. Maria, you are going to get... I'm going to move my gorilla here, and you're going to lose this battle. We'll see. Let's see. Yep, gotcha. Okay, so I'll show you. It's not Maria, it's a Mirager or something. I always see it. I always see it when I look at that name, and I think Maria. Okay, so Koi, yeah, I've beaten him a few times, but you're right. Like, it is nuts. So if you look at his air, I kill his tanks. It's not even close. Look at where I'm finishing. This isn't even the impressive battle, to be honest with you. Because my buff is killing him. And since I've been updating my gear on my second team, I'm getting a lot of mythics. I should have another one after Bullseye event. So that my second team is really becoming strong with the gear. And this is where it's all done. I keep preaching this over and over again. But gear is where it's at. Strategically where you put it. Okay, we can all discuss that. And that's some of the formation things we'll run tonight, to show you where, in my opinion, we should be putting it and backing it up with actual statistical proof. But listen, I don't care where you put it, to be honest with you. Just get it. Just get there. And this will just show you how important this is, because if you come down and look at my skills for air, I'm still nowhere near developed for skills for anybody in air, because it's my second team, and I focused on so much missile that I don't even have my air totally developed there. You look in, this is where it gets ridiculous, because Koi's drone is redonkulous. He is 250, 771 in the combat boost, so he hit the 750 mark. 36 chips, way over my chips on air. This is what I'm trying to develop here. You look, he's all level 10 drone component. Gorilla, I mean, we're just going to be tied for that. And then you come in and look, and he's 100% on aircraft, 100% on missile. I'm only 18% on aircraft right now for this, although he's behind on defense and siege, and I've completed it. He's beating me in deco. Tactic cards, he ended up with nothing, and I got to 7%. So this is huge, by the way. I got a 7% boost over him on hit points, attack, and defense. I don't know if he's all defense. Yeah. Well, he should have got... Wait a minute. Oh, as the attacker. So he's only getting attack points. He's upped his attack, and he's doubled up. So the same way, I've split mine. So I'm 7% on defense, and then I'm 7% on attack. So I split mine half and half with my tactic cards. That way I do it. He's doubled up on his offense. He's just straight offense. Koi is just like, I'm going to attack the crap out of you, and you can do nothing about it. But if you're attacking him, clearly, you could do something. His quantity, look at that. He's up, and this is probably because of his... he's got that, what I like to call the tactical, the whale-tickle. He's got that whale-tickle up here in the weapon, so that may be where he's getting the bonus quantity on me of 100. And then his wall is bigger. So everything you look at was bigger, right? But the huge component that I keep saying, right, is gear. Look at our gear difference. I'm 7.3, he's 5.4. So all those other advantages he has, essentially my gear is popping him in the face, and I'm defending. I'm defending with my defense. His defense, he's straight offense. He's not even filled out here, and my defense is it's all mythicaled out. So he's having a hard time breaking through that. And then on top of that, probably I got air, so I probably stunned him. And I got the buff and all that good stuff. So that's how I was able to overcome him. His air is 78.6, and I'm able to beat that with my 71.7. And this one is the one that's impressive. He doesn't have all his gear on here, mythic. So if he probably put that, he's probably splitting it maybe with his third team. Maybe he put some of this on his missile. Yeah, oh yeah, look at that. He's got everything, all his gear in his missile to try to defend there. So, because I'm just sneaking up on him, he's not worried about me. Koi is trying to fight. Koi is so strong that Koi's trying to fight, these top dogs up here. Koi is trying to stay in the top 10. He's fighting King and Crash and KOV. So he's trying to spread out that gear and survive some of those battles. And he's not planning for somebody like me to come in and sneak up on him and stack two of my teams, because that's all I do. I don't like these whales all have 3 teams. So he's forced to probably defend 3 separate teams in order to stay in the top 10. I only worry about 2 teams. I'm not a whale. I keep telling everybody I'm a dolphin. I'm not a whale. So I'm only worried about 2 teams. I'm worried about getting my second team elite. And clearly you could see the proof of that. It's working. So how I'm building my squads, and in battles now, strategically how I built out, and I ran some of this through Hulk and King as I was building stuff too, my strategy as I was going, and they thought it was a good strategy. So really, I built my missile out to be my number 1 team and number 1 strong to be elite. And then what I do is I'm building my gorilla up to be incredibly strong with the bond rating. So as I build the gorilla up now, when I'm actually out in the field fighting, if somebody I have my missile team, if somebody else comes along with a tank and they counter my missile, I throw my gorilla on my air, And then right in the middle of battles, I just throw my gorilla real quick on my air, make that my number 1 team, and then I counter their tank right there, right on the battlefield. So I don't have to worry about it. And it works. It works like a charm. So that's really kind of how I'm trying to battle with only 2 teams, is I just flex my gorilla back and forth. So again, for those that say the gorilla doesn't matter, I disagree. But then, again, I would also counter that with, I do agree that it shouldn't be the first thing you're developing. You should be spending it on gear and drone and a million other things before you dump money on gorilla if you are, even a mid-spender. 71, let's see. All right, let's finish up these battles so we can take on our evening here. Because I know I get bored losing to some of these people, so I know it won't be exactly exciting watching me lose to some of these folks. I'm not going to get in the top 10. I can already tell you that. So I'm just hanging around. Just hanging around. But sometimes when you hang around, you have people like Hulk and King in other 3v3. They can't really do it in this one. But because I'm strong enough to hang around the top 10, sometimes when they pull me in a battle, they'll let me win. So like Hulk or King, who's over here, if they're like 1 and 2 or in the top 3, they'll actually pull their squads and throw me 26 points over and over again to help me out and kind of boost me up. Because ultimately everybody wins, right? You get me in the top 10 and it's alliance rewards. So we're trying to give everybody awards. It's just an example of why 71 is a great place, to be honest with you. It's an example of why Hulk and King, they're just amazing people. For them to even care about me, myself, like Hulk throws me to train, helps me develop the team and lets me develop alongside him. So I know people have bad experiences with people. I get it. I have as well. So my opinion on some people may be different as well. But I can just tell you, playing with them and my experience is all I can coax on of why the decision I made to go to 71 and the experience that I've had so far. It's just been absolutely amazing. And that's just an example of it. For people to just think about you and throw you squads like that, it seems like such a small thing. It's a big deal to me. Giving back to everybody is a big deal to me. Like helping everybody on this YouTube channel. If I can help you, by all means, that's really my target and my goal. If I can help you in a server, if I can help you in a fight, if I can help you in any case, I'm there. It's really why I play the game. Just fun. All right, we got a few more left here. Kick out. And then we are up. Boom, boom, boom. I will tell you while you're watching this, and I'll probably lose my train of thought and lose a couple of these battles. But so some of the T11, there's going to be. I had a great interview today with somebody from server 31 that's going to be going up tomorrow morning for you to check out. Highly recommend that. For you to check it out. Basically, somebody who was in low alliance, top 10 alliance, realized it, watched one of our videos, and us telling them how important it is to be in a top alliance. They took our advice, they went there, and then they just share their story about how it's night and day, their rewards, their diamonds, everything that they've gotten over the last 2 weeks has just completely exploded for them. From a low spender perspective, they also go over kind of how much they're spending, what they're spending on. So that is a quick plug for a video that's going to hit tomorrow. I highly recommend. But in that interview, I also take a look at server 31 and their store, which now has stuff for T11 in the Alliance store. There's also stuff coming to buy in. So in the Alliance store, you can get stuff. At least I saw it in Diamonds. You can buy it. I'm not sure if it was scattered throughout the Alliance store, but there was definitely stuff to buy for diamonds for the T11. And then there were items in the weekly store where the drone components came out and the special weekly deals that I just went over and made a video about. And in there, I saw more T11 resources that you can get for $5 or something, like pretty cheap for a low spender. I didn't see much free to play unless you want to save your diamonds and use them for the T11s, which, listen, I don't right now. I can't recommend that. I'm not recommending you to do anything yet on T11s because I haven't tested it myself. So everybody freaking out about these T11s. My first instinct to all of you were calm down. You're going to get the T11s. This isn't going to be a crazy thing. There were numbers being thrown out and everybody's doing their own calculations saying 233 days and 300 days. And I don't know why you're doing your own calculations. I told you, calm down. These things, you don't know what the game is going to give you for rewards, so you can't possibly do your own calculations. You can't. You can only do your calculations based on what you have right now, and that's not what it's going to look like as we move forward. They're going to give more. As I'm already telling you, in the Alliance store, there's going to be things that you can get for diamonds if you want, or, for low spenders, there's stuff. And I'm sure that's not the end of it, by the way. There will be more rewards, and they'll give you more ways to do it, just as they did with the Gorilla and everything else. So I know there was a lot of videos I saw on YouTube too, freaking everybody out, making everybody scared. Like, listen, calm down. Everybody's going to get T11s, and the reason why I'm not even plugging this yet is because I don't even know if these T11s are a big deal. I don't know how much damage these T11s are going to do. They might not, with no stars, these T11s might not be that big of a deal. They may be great. I don't know either way. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know, because I don't. When I have them, I will run tests for you. I will show you exactly what they do. We'll run a bunch of different things, as we always do, to show you statistically what stuff looks like. And we'll just be honest about it. But I can tell you, I wholeheartedly believe that you are going to have T11s, even like free-to-play players. It'll take time. I don't know how long. I'm not putting estimates on it. 233 days seems extreme to me. I don't see that happen. And people are already halfway up a helmet and they haven't spent a dime. I find that hard to believe that you're going to all of a sudden, in one day, you got halfway up a helmet, and now it's going to take you 230 days to get the rest of it. I think likely it'll take 30 days. I don't know. Likely you'll get it during the season. Anybody who's doing season 5, probably you'll get it somewhere before or after the season. You'll get the T11s. Or I'm sorry, during the season, people start getting T11. I think if you wanted to talk about what's going to take you a long time, and I would totally agree with you, is those stars that are going to go on there. Now, listen, all you have to do is look at the stars that go on our drone, right? for the skills and stuff. So come on. There's I didn't finish, did I? No, 4 more. I think getting 4 stars on every single one, I totally agree with you. I think that's going to take a long time. So if you want to be at least fired up about something, just get fired up about the right thing, which is probably that. But even then, I don't know. I just, it's just something else to collect. If you're free to play, just enjoy the game. It's just a new thing in the game. It's a new thing to collect. And don't worry about the separation that's happening between you and the whales. It doesn't matter. As soon as the whales got to 20 million ahead of you, if you were 50 million to 70 million, it doesn't matter if they get to 120 million. If you're 50 million and they're 120 million, just get out of the way. Use your teleport or take your 0. It doesn't matter how big they get. They can get to 170 million. It just doesn't matter. You're not in that realm, and you're not going to be. That's not who you're looking to fight. So calm down that the separation is getting too big. You were never going to get there. It's free to play. The game is here to make money. They're spending money. They should get an advantage for the money they're spending. You, instead of being upset about it, should be using it to your advantage. If you're not in an alliance with a whale right now, check yourself, because you need to get there. Go find an alliance with a whale and get in it, because then you're getting the free rewards. You're getting the alliance bonus. You're benefiting from them. So instead of complaining about them, you're benefiting from them. That's what you can do to further your game, especially as a free-to-play. Get all the valor you can. get all the points. I don't know what I'm doing anymore with this. Pretty much had it here. I need to, let me finish these 2 off. Let's right here. Missile. Beat this guy. What do I have? 2 more? Is that 2 more left? 3 more. Jeez, guys. And all this, by the way, to not move. I think I started at like 16. So all of these points that I've been winning in all these games was just to kind of tread water for me. Because this has been so tough. So tough. All right. I got KOV. Yes. Big win right there. Big win. So for those keeping track at home, I was able to beat the 6th player, the 8th player, and the 11th player here. And where did Koi go? Koi get dropped? Did I miss him? Oh, there he is. 6th. The 6th player as well. So, not bad. Alright, we got a couple more and we are done. Tank air, 64, 60, yep, that'll work. And one more. Okay. And like I said, I mean, it's difficult to watch. Dragon. By the way, LNL Dragon. I don't know. People have had negative experiences with people, so it's difficult. But for me, because I don't have a lot of negative experiences with most folks. But cool cat, man. He reached out to me. I've been talking to him now for a couple days, and really cool guy. And down to earth, how he's building his team. I'm gonna put it all on my missile. I'm riding my missile strong and seeing what happens here. Yes, gotcha, Dragon. All right, 24. So I'm treading water. You may tread water as well. Like you look at the record. I probably got beat by most people. Winner, Big Dragon. So you see all my losses that happen. So you tread water. But here's the thing with the rewards. My ranking reward, if I can stay in the top 20, you can see I still get a big benefit from staying in the top 20. It's 5,000 honor points and 50 valor for staying in here. So I'd rather try to stay in here than keep dropping. If I don't play at all, I keep dropping. The other thing is my daily reward. So just for playing, whether I rank or not, I'm saying this, but look at these honor points that you're getting. 700 per day. Like, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So 7,010 days just for playing this and not winning, just playing it, that's pretty cool. And then this is why, you know, the Hulk and the Kings help you try to stay in the top 10 for myself and what they're doing, because your alliance just scores so many big wins. And this is also why, think about this from perspective. So you have somebody like Vader, right, who's in FS4, who's with us. And, like, the amount of, like, CDF and King are in the top 2 every single time. So they're like, let's say they're 1 and 3 or 1 and 4, whatever they end up being, right? Just for being in that alliance, he's getting 1,500 valor just for being in that alliance from the alliance reward. So they just plop him and hand him 1,500. That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, you go look in from, like, you know, how much valor costs and like the glitter event and stuff. This to me, these rewards, most do equate to money. So there it is. So the place I was talking about earlier is in the weekly pass right here. So I always get my gears and my drone components, as I told you. I recommended that for low spenders. It's a great deal. Great deal. So in here, probably next week, starting Monday, will be my guess. That's my guess. Could be the following week, but my guess they'll probably do it this week, Sunday. You're going to get some T11 materials in here in this weekly pass store. So you come in here probably whenever Monday reset, and it'll probably be right in here. Sunday reset, right? Day 1. So come in there, and then also in the Alliance store in here. Also, in here, there's going to be T11 stuff for... Actually, it's in here. It's for diamonds. So, granted, costs might not be affordable for some of you. Get it. So, get what you can. All good. All right, let's do some reset work here. What are we doing? What's QB doing? So let me go here and take care of this boring stuff for you real quick that you don't want to see. Let me just get this. I got to get this out of the way. All right, mobile task done. Now we got to do our go stops. Let's throw ours. I make the mistake sometimes of donating first, and then sometimes I mess with myself and I come up short because I'm so busy worrying about helping other people in the team. And it's like, help everybody you can, but before you do your own go stop so you don't run out of people to run your own. So let me just do this real quick. Throw the rewards for people. And I know this isn't exciting to watch to do it. You guys have to do the same thing. So, but if I don't do it now, everybody already does it on the team, right? And I don't want to run out. So he's all set. He needs SSR. I think Brock's good. Let's see if I can help somebody else. Nope, nobody here. So we'll just went away. All right, we'll help you. Go join team. You need help. Let's go join team. Oh, they already filled it up. Damn, that was quick. Hulk here. Oh no, we're not giving purple. All right, so wait and see if there's anybody else I can help. See, I'm already late. For people to do all a reset, fill up your alliance chat. For those that are in an alliance that's active, typically your alliance will be Crazyville right now, right? So, all right, we'll wait. Necessarily want to give them purples, my golds to purples, but for the sake of our live to get done with this, we'll just get rid of it and move on. Okay. So let's get into some more stuff that's actually worthwhile. So first, what do I do here? Every day, right? So stamina. I claim stamina. Everybody wonders, why do I have 1,393 50s and 1,435 10s? Well, I do a couple things. One, stamina every day. I get my free stamina twice. That comes in, as you do. And then my diamonds every day. So I do one for the 300. I do one for the 500. And then I do one for the 1,000. And that will keep me at, right now I'm 794. And yes, I do not get the free stamina that comes in because I just keep stacking that number. So right now there's gold zombies, so I may actually use all that stamina. If it wasn't a gold zombie week, I typically don't. You'll see my stamina number sit at around 1,600 sometimes, like 2,000 I'll end up with stamina. That'll just sit here, and I'll just keep stacking it and stacking it and stacking it and not using it because it helps. I don't have to dig into my 50s and 10s if I'm stacking my stamina. So I've started doing that well early in the game when I used to just use all the stamina and then get the free stamina that came in. I changed because I started to run out of stamina because I was using my 50s and my 10s, and then I vowed never to run out of stamina again. Because to me, I'm just those that know me is I'm all about the fighting, and you can't fight without stamina. So it's as important for me as having troops in the drill ground. I need to have stamina to use to attack people, and so I won't run out. So I do that. That's every reset. Come back in, hit my VIP points. VIP 16, keep chipping away. I'm almost 16 million 5. So marching my way to VIP 17. We're getting closer and closer. And really, like VIP 17, out of all these things that you get from VIP 17, I can tell you what I'm looking forward to the most. You get all these bonuses for VIP 17, like your max units goes up 10%, your research speed, all that. Like you look at that stuff and you think, oh, that's cool. Like think about 11% bonus on defense, attack, hit points. all I really want is that, like, that little the energy burst thing. I think it's so cool. Like, I really like it. I don't know why. You could take, like, half the skins that I have, you could take them and throw them in the garbage. I don't even necessarily like them. But this energy burst thing, I really like. And I also use this, too, the Doomsday Party one. I like that, too. So you will see me. You'll know I got VIP 17 because you will see me 24/7 with one of these effects on. Because I really, they're two, like the two my favorite effects that are in the game for me that I've seen. I don't want a pumpkin blowing up above my head. Like, you know, we all have it for like Halloween and like different stuff that we have, the torch and all these. These are my two favorites. I like them. And clearly, like, they give them out for free for the top people in the 3v3. But I only have a couple of them. They're also good bonus. So, all right, let's go in and take care of our 10. Always do. I need my heroes. We're going to be able to move tonight. Do this, so we'll claim this. And that's it. We're done here. Go in our hot deals. We have this. Ammo. We got to get our free bullets. If you guys have watched any of my videos, you know this is my favorite event because gear is my favorite thing to get and buy and recommend for everybody. So, oh, you know what? I didn't do this at reset and I may have fallen behind. Nope. Hold on, guys. I may be able to maintain first place in the server for research. Did I get high enough? 427, 12427. No, I need 12438. I need one more update. So our T11 progress so far, I'm tied with CDF 43 and 46, and then Hulk is 345. And look, good old Uncle Rich. Everybody forgets about Rich, but there he is, strong little brother. Love that man, good man. And he's hanging there. And, you know, everybody who's up here has spent money, like dumped the 400 in for these things. And to be honest with you, you know, I don't practice what I preach because this channel is meant for everybody. This channel is meant for me to give you advice. I'm in an alliance. I'm constantly being asked by free-to-play players and low spenders what they should do. I can easily put myself in your shoes, what you should be doing, and have patience. And I can tell you that you should not be spending money here. You should not be doing this. As I've said, the elite players and the whale players have to do this because during the season, you're going to look for people to be there to fight the other elite people that are going to have the T11s. Somebody's got to be able to do that and fight that, right? So let the top players that are going to spend it do that and do what they need to do to be at the top and fight the elite players in the other team. You just keep pushing along at a free pace. You are fine. You go improve your drone and go improve your, you know, whatever, your gorilla. I would recommend you go improve your gorilla before you're going to go spend on these T11s right now. If you should spend on your T11s, from my perspective, I will be the first one to make a video and tell you how amazing they are and you should be getting them from a priority perspective. Right now, I am not saying that because nobody really knows until you actually test them and do that. So right now, I will say no on the T11s. But the resources are there. Keep holding off. I'm sure Sunday night when it comes out, I will have a major update because I'll be getting whatever's available out here to try to push them and hopefully have them soon. All right, let's come in and let's get some exclusives here. All right, let's go improve our team now. Every exclusive I have is going towards Williams. Williams is my last hero that's not exclusive 30. So everything that I use will be for Williams. Makes it very easy. And I'm nowhere close. I think I just eclipsed 20. So see where we are at versus. All right, we should pound that number pretty soon now. Let's go use our exclusives first. We want... Where are you, buddy? There you are. Williams. Exclusive. I'm at 20, so we could do 1. We can do 2. So we did 2. We're 17 away from 3. That's all right. I'm slow rolling him. I don't use tank right now. Once he gets to 30, I may actually mix him in with my air squad and run some tests. I know King had success with putting Williams in the front, and he has exclusive 30. So that may make a difference. But his skills aren't very high for me right now. Tank is not my priority for skills either. So speaking of skills, I have to use my skill points. My skill points right now are going to Sarah. So I'm trying to develop Sarah. Today with Sarah, I had incredible success with look how I get distracted. I do love rewards. So, oh, it's not going to show you my battle record from yesterday. Oh yeah, okay, right here. So this is missile. Here, so you can see here I went Marshall, Sarah, DVA, Morrison, and Schuler. And I scored my high point to the point I was able to unlock rewards today. I got my 21 billion rewards today for my score. So my previous high, I had 2996, and I was able to do, or no, I'm sorry, I had 2996 was my previous, and then I got 21062 on my first try, and I led Sarah was first, and then I switched Marshall and Sarah, and I ended up jumping up 21.5. So it was a success. And I've been pushing Sarah. So the same reason why I would tell you, even if you're not developing your tank squad, use your exclusive on Marshall, because the goal rewards here to claim are awesome. Like, they're incredible. And by developing somebody like Marshall to get these rewards for yourself will just develop your team faster. Like, look, who can't use 150 gold RSS? The diamonds that you get over here from inflicting, and I'm not even close. I'm only on, 8 and 12, and you're coming in here, and look at all these. Look at the oil that you're getting, and the gold RSS, and the 1 hour stuff. So, tons of great stuff to get here, rewards. So that's why I say, because you can use Marshall to push. I think one of them is Prince is one of the goal sets, I believe. Was it Missile? I don't know. I can't remember. Could be wrong on that, but I thought one of them was Gold Prince. Or was it? Maybe it was Red Prince. I don't remember. But either way, get these goals, and the reason why you get them is clearly you want your tank squad. Marshall's going to up you there. You can throw Marshall in with your air squad, and it helps you there. And you could throw Marshall in with your missile squad to boost that as well. So I highly recommend Marshall's exclusive, because you're using them and to get these rewards. As a low price, like, you're developing your first team, right, to fight, and you're developing your second team for exclusive 20. But still, to me, I'm just saying, on the side, if you're going to develop somebody, he's worth it for his exclusive, because this is where you're going to use him. So Sarah, back to my Sarah conversation, you saw that I used Sarah, right? And I will show you, I've been developing slowly but surely Sarah, and you saw what damage I did with Sarah. Well, I've slowly been pushing Sarah's skills along. Really don't need to do this. This is like Sarah's attack skill. Physical damage is equal to 23. Like, I don't know. I'm not really getting her for her damage, so I guess if, like, I'll 30 her out just to max out for the point of all the tests I'm going to run for videos for your benefit. But I will also tell you that it's the last thing you should do. Like, if you're going to do skills, you can probably leave this at 1. You don't necessarily need her. You're using her for a buff, not for an attack necessarily. So she's not even a UR hero. But she increases the back row for aircraft heroes, dealing 24%. This is against monsters. So dealing to monsters, you're getting these added benefit from her. So this is good for World Boss. That's where World Boss is coming in, right? Then on the battlefield, you're seeing a lot of people, whales and people looking at it. Thank you, Vader. Appreciate it. It was a pretty big deal. I was pretty damn proud of it. So you're seeing her used by some people who are incredibly strong in the battlefield because of the buff she's dealing. She's dealing physical damage equal to 266. Now, I'm still looking. We'll see right now. So this is going to be the first one that I want to develop. Although I would like her for my personal world boss score, I will get there and develop her for the test of these videos and for the benefit of everybody who actually finds value in the videos I run and likes it. I'm going to first max her out here because it would make her valuable in a PvP attack situation. To understand, I can put mythic gear on her and I can make her 100%. Now, when you're talking about air, my mastery is not 100%. That's my second squad. So my skill for my drone is not as high as it could be for air, and my mastery is not 100%. I'm like 18%. So I'm still behind any people that are probably running this that are very high level, like Hulk or Abria, or people that I've talked to about this, but I can at least run the sample reports in the sandbox environment that we created to show you if there is added benefit of her or not. It should at least tell me that. So, okay, without further ado, let me see. I should be able to get this to 30. Let's see. 27, 28, 29, and 30. There you are. So she's maxed. So now I will run tests, and at some point, probably within the next week, you're going to get my Sarah videos for all the people that want to geek out on the data that I'm going to bring and the statistics, and that want to actually upgrade, like myself, that enjoy that data. You will get the data to know whether Sarah is worth it to dive in for a common player. And I say common. And let me just upgrade this because this is my next thing that I'm going to do with her. So I can get 21, 22, 23. So I can get 23. And then next week will be my guess that I will be able to move this to 30 as well. I should have enough to move this to 30. And then I probably, again, if I were you, I would leave this at 1. I'll probably put her at 30. Just for the sake of getting her all maxed out, so it's not an excuse that somebody comes to me and say, oh, you didn't max this out. I'll max it out. But honestly, as far as test run, it's not doing much for physical damage from her. I'm not expecting much from her. I've seen them, though, run with Marshall, like in the World Boss. So if you're running with Marshall, and this is upping her attack by 300%, and I give her Mythic, if she moves up, so just to look at her, right? If I look at her, let me just take some equipment off now because we're gonna do this after anyway, and I can show you and move all this stuff. We're gonna strip our equipment. Just give me a second. And really, Last War, if anybody has contact or power with Last War, like a remove all button is overdue by 600 days. Okay? Like, honestly, like, we all do this. Just get a remove all. Like, you make us strip this equipment one by one now for over 600 days. We've been doing this. And, my God, it's just brutal. And I know it's brutal for everybody out there. I know it is. Because you all do this when you have to do World Boss. Like, what do you think that you're going to use it in battle and be able to switch real quick? And, I don't know, whatever. To me, you start looking at, like, entertainment value. And I'm going to run these, I'm going to run the sandbox air so that you can, I think that's everybody. Okay. Oh, no, Morrison. I'm going to use Morrison in my tests. So there we go. Okay. So I'm going to put just on Sarah, and you can see where Sarah goes as soon as I give her Mythic, where she moves up here. So she was, I think she was here, and she moved up for total value ahead of Swift with no exclusive weapon and no Mythic. Swift is still 8 million and Sarah is 849. So they're almost equal when I give her all mythic equipment. But then again, if I give it fully, there's no exclusive weapon. When I had no exclusive weapon on Marshall, and I gave him full gear, it's not like he moved up either. He moves up, but nowhere near their support heroes. So her goal isn't to deliver that. But we will get into that after. But I will tell you, I will let her run because I think you should be using her from a full world boss perspective. All right, last, let's. I'm not going to send a sled out yet because now I have no gear on my folks. Wall of Honor. Let's do this. So any of my freebies, any of the freebies first, I'll use. I use all my shards on the hero. I don't need them I don't need to hold off for anything today. Today's a push week for us for versus, so I save them for. I only do my wall when we're pushing in versus. And we got this one that's free. Come in here. And what I like to do is push all my heroes, no matter if it's your first team or not. I like to push all the heroes to 200. I like to accomplish that because once you go past 200, it doubles. So you need only 10 per level until you go to 200, and then you start to need double. And then you go past that, and you're going to even need more. So I don't... this is the other thing that Hulk was talking about, too, where her level is on the Wall of Honor. Because, people have Sarah's high, and I clearly do not. So I did 200. The first thing I did was my missile team, and I get 200 because at 200, I maximize my bonus at only giving 10 per, right? Hey, what's up, Jake? So I only have 10. Oops, let me pull this back. So I only have 10. And then we come over to air, and air, I go to 200s, and then I'm on tank 200, 200, and now I have 2 left to get to 200, which is Marshall and Stepman. And we're getting close on Marshall. Because I just want to I'm not going to dump everything into missile, even though it's my first squad. I'm not going to dump everything in here because it's for the benefit of, where am I getting my best bang for my buck on these shards? As soon as I start using double and 20, then it's going to take me forever. I'm going to use all my shards when I can develop all these teams. So instead, I've been spreading it out and upping my Wall of Honor for all the teams. And I'm just getting more bang for my buck in this way. So let's see, can we... Uh-oh, look at this. And Marshall, 200. There we are. So now I got Marshall to 200. I got another bonus here, and now we are on Stepman. And that's it. Gold is used. So Stepman will be my last 200, and then once I finish Stepman at 200, I can then turn my attention back to missile, and then I'll be pushing them to probably 250 or 300, whatever the next increase happens, which is going to be absurd. And I won't be doing it long, I'm sure. So same with purple. So purple, I stick with my main squad, though. So I'm still developing the missile here to get to 200. So I think we might finally do that. Nope. Just short, 196. So next week, I'll be able to push my purple to 200 here. And then I'll move to my next purples here. And obviously my blue is left. I have my blue here. And I know blue here, 172. So this, I think all my air blues are done. Yep, 200. So this is my last blue to get this. To 200, and there we are, 188. So we're getting close here too with the blues. All right. I use, again, this is a push week, so I use all my shards now today. I believe somebody was talking about using charge for like arms race and stuff. Arms race, you really just need your tickets for arms race. You don't need to use your goals. So when you have arms race, it's only 30 tickets. So usually, except for my free week when I built up like 2,500 of them or something ridiculous. So I sit here, I have 500. When I get a bunch of them, I will use them on days like this where it's a push week. I may use a bunch of them. Williams is done, so now we are only on Stepman for the freebie. So I'll just use 100 because I eventually just get too many tickets to use. And then we're done. Oh, now I got a whole bunch of free ones on top of it. Because I usually don't use these during the week. I only did it because it's a push week. And for those of you that don't know what a push week is, so in Versus, you can get a schedule where you can push on day 1 and day 4, and then the following week you push on day 2 and day 3, and that way you spend a week saving for the days, and that gives you more to use the following week. So it's just a strategic opportunity to win Versus, and some people do it. So I would encourage, if you don't do that today, go ahead and look into it. It's a common thing that teams do. It may be common for myself. For those at newer servers, you may not use it as often, so it's an opportunity to do that. All right, let's check our Versus. We are at 27. That's all I got from doing all that. 27. I'm sure somebody's sitting at like 80 million. Look at Stretch. Good old Stretch. 72. Oh, 72 Stretch. Good for you, man. 46. All right. So that is us at reset. I will get our bullseye, later. I don't need to do that right now. I want to jump into some of this team formation stuff. Since y'all been waiting for, so let's jump into it. All right, so Operation Sandbox, for those that did not watch my YouTube video, again, please do. It'll help explain some of this more in detail. But this is an environment where I'm able to run tests for people and look at the squad difference of how somebody's doing, Carly and Lucius, and the best formation I can swing it around. So I'm going to run what I call just our 5 sample tests right now that we're going to run. And we're going to keep it like this, just for argument's sake. Well, I'm going to do it like this because I don't want to waste your time. You're just going to have to trust me that right now I know one of the big things that everybody loves is DVA in the front, right? Everybody loves DVA in the front. Oh, it's like such a big thing for everybody to have DVA in the front. And it right now I have no gear on any of the heroes because I want to run this. And for early server, the servers that just started, later servers that are just joining that are going to view this as well, I took the gorilla off because you don't have the gorilla. So I can get the benefit here of showing you the numbers and the stats and some of this stuff without the gorilla. We can get into that conversation and run these tests. And I'm doing this because I want you to run these tests. Please join our Discord. I set up in our Discord some sections on the left side where you can share your battle reports if you are air, if you are tank, if you are missile, and then put the summary of your findings in there as well. And together we will statistically prove what is better for gear, what is better formations, everybody's experimenting. It's so much fun. It just makes some of this entertainment game that we have more fun. And for those of you that don't have any interest in running it and you just want to know the results, hey, and a lot of you are pointing at yourself right now, cool. You will get that because I know for myself, I will run a boatload of this, of these tests. I've already run the other day 174, and I can tell you with no gear, the best way to put your 5 air with no gear, no gorilla, is DBA, Morrison, Schuler. This lineup right here, with no gear, no air, comes out on top from all the different formations that you run. I will also caveat when we're doing this is it is against tank. There is a buff involved here. It doesn't matter because we're going to run the same exact test against the same exact unit. And that's why this is the way to do it, is two factors that we're doing this for. One is all the variables stay the same. There's, I counted, I think there's like 12 different variables that you have on every battle report. So if you're running one formation against one person and then you're like, oh, I'm going to run it against this guy. Hey, look how I did. And you share with me two different battle reports against two different people, I'm going to call things into question. Because you entered too many variables. The season skill, the gear is different, the skill, all the things are different. This is an apples to apples comparison. So regardless of it's a buff, every battle I run will have the buff. Every battle I run will be gorilla versus no gorilla. Every battle I run will be the same levels. So I'm comparing an apples to apples here as we compare it. But the one thing I cannot control with air, and this is the number 2 part of this, when you're running air or when you're running against air or with air, you have to take into account Schuler's stun. Schuler's stun is the number 1 skill in this game. And it is the most variable skill in this game. She can stun 7 times, she can stun 2 times. And that can change. You can beat somebody like Koi that I just showed you if you're way below him, if you're stunning him 7 times, and his air stuns you none. Like some people I love, who was it? Oh, Vader. So Vader sent me a battle report. I'm pretty sure it was you, Vader, right? I'm pretty sure. He sent me 2 battle reports. And he said, Vader said, Vader, you said, the 2 battle reports. I don't remember exactly what they were, but you sent me 2 reports, and Vader said, look at the difference between these 2. And I said, watch them again. Are you sure there's no difference between these 2 videos? And Vader looks at it and goes, nope, I don't see any difference. It's the same. And I go, look at it again. And really, one of the videos had 2 stuns, it might even be 3 stuns, and the other video had no stuns. And lost against the one that had 3 stuns, or I can't remember which. I think you lost the one that had 3 stuns against. And so the bottom line is, the stun is going to throw stuff off in a lot of these tests. So there's variable information you're going to receive from air, these battle reports that you run. Just know that going in. And so because of that, when it comes to air, what I'm going to do here for us is we're going to run 5 sample tests. So we have 5 sample data. The only thing we're going to concentrate on in these battle data tests is our damage. Okay, so we're going to look at the damage of this run right here. Okay, there's damage taken. You'll find that your 3 heroes in the back here will end up with the very similar damage. As a matter of fact, if I put on gear onto them, this number changes only slightly to absorb more damage. So these stay, and they're pretty similar every single battle report you run for damage taken. The front actually becomes a little bit more variable, where sometimes Carly's able to take more damage and sometimes Lucia's able to take more damage. Oftentimes they're very similar though. You'll run these battles over and over and over again. You'll see that those numbers pretty much stay the same when you run them. The ones that change is the damage, and the reason why they change so much for air, again, is because of that stun. It's so big that you just have to factor it in into your numbers. Okay, so just know that going in, they're going to fluctuate and go, and that's why I like to run just 5 sample tests to get the best, because if I just run 1 test and it's stunned 7 times, the numbers could be through the roof. What I want you to pay attention to when you run these tests, though, you'll notice a theme of DVA is always out way in front. Biggest damage dealer you're going to have. This is no gear. And look at the damage DVA is giving. Now, if I put DVA in the front right now with no equipment, DVA is going to get slaughtered. DVA is not strong without equipment on. You'll find that when you run your tests. Like, the damage just drops for everybody involved because DVA just dies. So you need to keep your damage dealer alive when it comes to air. And as you can see, look at the damage test, very similar to the previous test I ran, right? So you're seeing a theme, a little bit more damage by DVA. And that, again, my guess is if I watched the video, because maybe another stun from Schuler kept the fight a little bit longer. And what you want to focus on with air, because that's really when you look at it outside of the game, even to people from, if you remember when you started playing this game, one of the things that you focused on was there was that change that happens where air starts beating tank. If you think back to even for my folks that have been playing with me for 600 days, you remember those days when air started to beat tank and everybody started to make the switch because they started to see the buff the game was playing with. And they were like, oh, look at this. I'm better off with air. Very few people stuck with tank. And to this day, I'll say the most squad that you'll see out there as people's number one squad is air. People switch to air constantly, even when they shouldn't switch to air. They just love air. And for a good reason. First of all, that Schuler skill is unbelievable. So I get it. I get why you would do it. But let's also say if you don't build the air team properly, and that's what I'm going to kind of display to you a little bit tonight, if you don't build it properly and know what you're doing, you can just completely lose the benefit of having air. So it's important to understand what you're building and how you're building it with these tests. So I have my sample tests here, which I will call over, and I'll show you. I run them on a spreadsheet here. This is what my spreadsheet looks like. Okay, and for our purposes tonight, I'm only going to use the data that I took the 5 battles we ran. This is Carly's. This is the positions we ran them. Carly in the first. So I consider when we're looking at these battles here from the back, this is the first position. This is the second position. Then from left to right in the back, third, fourth, fifth. That's what I do. And you can do that by World Boss, because that's how World Boss lists them as heroes. So think of it from that perspective. World Boss will just list your heroes in order. That's how it's listing them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for our purposes, instead of just calling them out in position and saying back left, back right, let's just call them their positions of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? And so what I do is I look at and put the lineups here of what I have, and then I put the damage from each spot. Now, what we're going to focus on tonight is the total damage that was the team gave, right? So if you look here, this is our total damage. We had a high of 24 in that last battle. We had a low of 17 here was what our range was, okay? This is what the front gave for damage. This is what the back gave for damage. Your back obviously is going to always be your most damage, unless you're running DVA in the front with, a lot of gear. That's your damage. So that'll be our sample report tonight. So now, what I'm going to do for the purposes of these reports is let's get interesting with this, okay? Let's take a look at what happens if I'm going to give you 4 mythics to use, okay? So at home, if you're playing along, think about you have an air team, and I only gave you 4 mythics. They could be any kind of mythics. You choose. So you're just going to get random mythics. I can give you 4 guns. I can give you 4 chips. I can give you 4 shields. I can give you 4... Whatever you want them to be, it's up to you. Think in your head how you're going to put them on the heroes without me doing it. So I'm going to start with a common thing that I see people do when they have 4 mythics. And that is they give 4 mythics to DVA, right? And by the way, for my purposes, I call it DVA. Everybody say Diva. I say DVA. I don't know. I always did. So if it's really Diva, I don't know. It's not like they have pronunciation of these names, by the way. And frankly, I don't care. So I put all 4 mythics. Nobody else has gear. The only person with gear right now. Let's go back to our sandbox and let's see what happens when we leave DVA with Justice Neil. Skylar? Is it pronounced? See? What is this? Diva. There you go, Diva. Hey, it's KT. Thank you for the pronunciation check. Look at this. I got pronunciation checks going on. Diva and Skylar. All right. So we'll say Diva and Skylar, which is crazy because it looks like Schuler. Skylar. Okay. Pronounce it Skylar. Write it Skylar. Okay, so Diva, and we'll say Skylar. Thank you for the lesson here. Hey, it's KT. Showed you how much I care. All right, so let's roll. We have our Diva. So, what do you want me to do here? Why don't I do what a typical lineup looks like when Diva is all redded out, right? This is what everybody wants to see. This is the most common play, right? You see Diva in the front. Hey, you run your Diva in the front. Let's run it. Okay, listen, she's all mythic out. It's not going to get any better than this. Let's run her in the front, and let's run Schuler. Schuler's the most important hero there is here because it provides the skill. So I'm going to put her as the most protection. I'm going to put her behind the mythic out Diva, and we'll run some reports for you, and we'll see what we're going to get. And sure, you're going to see off the planet Diva action here. So there you go. So you got now 20.9 with this running, and Morrison over here is 11.8. And then Skylar we're going to get at 8.6. All right. So let's run it again because there's all kinds of stuff to take into consideration here. Just this right here, by the way, like it cut it in half from 1 million. Everything got dropped from this because of the stuns that are happening. So when you're running, it's kind of a pain to have to do it like this, but because there's so many, when there's that stun is so powerful and offers the variability, you really have to run multiple tests. Look at that. Look at just that. 27. Like we had a 20 and a 19, then we got a 27 for damage. I mean, it's just the stun comes into play and keeps the battle alive. And by the way, you're not going to see necessarily you'll see it after when we run some of these on this. So let's run one more here. And let's see what we get. All right, so this went, again, way low. 371. Okay, 19.6, 10.6, 2.1, and 6.4. Okay, so we ran our 5 against our other 5, and how did we do? So with our 4 mythics just on Diva. So you can see here, we doubled all of our offensive output for total damage. Right, so 45, 41, 49, 39. We ran it all, and it's all, you got a high of 49, low of 45, clearly doubled all of our damage output with putting Diva in the front and just geared out. So again, you only had four to use, right? So now I'm going to take those 4, and I'm still going to let's still stay offensive, to see what would happen if we just said the heck with defense. Let's go offensive gun, offensive chip, and then let's give it to like Morrison, Schuler, really matter. Let's give it to, want to give it to Morrison? We'll give it to Morrison. We'll give him the gun and the chip. All right, and we'll just go straight offensive. Now that we have no gear on, this will be the last time that we do these 5 here. I'm going to put DBA in the front, and we put Lucius in the middle, and then we put Morrison here. Okay, so now we're going to just move Diva back here. We'll put Lucius back because no more, you got no more defense on Diva here, right? So let's move it back. And we'll go back to our original lineup for offense. And let's run a couple reports here to just show what we look like. All right, and you can see we dropped drastically. Same four mythics that you had. As far as I gave you 4, right? So you had to put on 4. So if this isn't already jumping off the page to you in the damage that you're doing, it should. So if you're using those mythics incorrectly, like, look at the difference that you could be creating for yourself. Like, you know, so you could be spending all that time to obtain these mythics, and if you put them on properly, improperly, you're just really, really hurting yourself. Okay, so let's run just a couple more battles here. We'll just run 3 more here because clearly you're going to see the same thing. All right, and then we'll just look at them. There's nothing much to see. This is just to more prove to you that you're going to see it consistently bad as far as how we set this up. And I'll save you the time. By all means, if you want to run this on your own, and this is why I'm doing this, because I want you to run it on your own. I want to have this conversation in Discord. I want to keep talking about this. Everybody needs to run these. Operation Sandbox, that's what we're running, because we need to do this to put this proof together and put these statistics together. And it's just fun to actually prove out right from wrong. Like, what are these numbers coming out to, and what do they look like? Let's do it and run them. And I can't wait for newer servers to run them, because I want to see a lot of these reports from 1-star heroes and 2-star heroes. Like, how much does that change? I can't go back in time. I'll just be frank with you. I don't know. Some of you may be in the same boat. I don't have time to run 2 squads. My job is pretty busy right now. In order to have a life, although right now I'm pretty down with my surgery, I don't have time to hold two different accounts and 3 different accounts and 4 different. God bless you if you do. You love the game. Keep it alive. But all right, so I ran 3. I think it's enough for you to see. We used 4 mythics again, right? And look what happened. 4 mythics, and where are we? We cut it in half. Almost barely a difference from our first 5 to our last 3. Where our max that we could do was 32, and our max over here was 24. So we barely increased. Like, we increased, but I mean, come on, it was 4 mythics I gave, right? So this is just great. So now, let's actually run this again. And come on, folks. Live in QB world. QB loves himself some defense. So let's run a test. And let's take it off of Morrison where we were wasting our time. And let's put it, how about some, we'll leave it on, we're going to leave it on Diva, but we're going to put on a radar. And then we're going to go crazy and give Carly radar too. All right, so we got 2, we got 4 using. You still have Diva pumped up as much offense as you can. And now the defense, you're not going to move her in front, okay? But the defense in front of Diva is now got that radar hooked in. All right, so let's see what we can do here with some of these battle reports, with some radar. Now we went up again, but nowhere near what we were, right? 1.3, 23.5, let's go, 4.3, 4.6. And so we were easily, we were better than putting the 2 on Morrison by putting it on defense. But still, 5.3. And if you notice, no matter what you're going to end up seeing, and this is a common thing, I see it all the time when I'm running these, is Morrison and Schuler end up with very similar numbers. Like, even if you remember when I put the reds on Morrison, very similar numbers, like 5.5, 6.9. And don't forget, I gave Morrison the chip and the gun, right? So I gave Morrison, I pimped out Morrison as much as I could. And his numbers went what? Like, you see Diva goes through the roof. Morrison barely moved. So, just take account to that. And you also have to take account for me doing these tests for newer servers too. I'm putting an apples to apples argument here against these tests, but some of these folks, when they're running, you can see the increase of what I'm giving. Some of them are a little more amped up because of the exclusive weapon I have on them, but they are all even, so they're all 30s. I can't juice them any more than they are. But just know that some of the numbers may not come out as high as mine. They're still going to be consistent, though. Like, whatever you do in your environment, whatever you're running, will still be consistent. Okay. We did 3, so just humor me. Just for science purpose, we'll run one more just to see. I just plug them in real quick. No harm, no foul. Just give them more legitimacy to the test. I mean, honestly, run this. You want to run this sample like 1,000,000 times, right? Okay. But I'm going to show you now. Let's take a look. Clearly, the benefit of this, but look at the difference. I mean, we ran 4 tests. We were all consistently 34, 35, 36, and 37. The ones with Morrison were 22, 24, and 32, right? So just putting radar on kept Schuler alive, kept Diva alive, Skyler, Skyler and Diva alive, and look at the difference. You could see the difference pop off, right? So, not as high as in the front here of our test that we ran with Diva in the front, but we also did have we had the 4 and the 3. Oh, let me move this too. These 3. We put these back and we put these back. These were our 5. We ran here. We ran 3. We ran 3. Okay. So I'm just gonna do this. This will just say. We'll just make it a little easier to read for you. This was with the 2 shields. These were the 5 normal ones we ran here. 3, 4, 5. These were the 4 we ran. Right? And I'll just color these a little bit different so they stick out. There we go. Show a little bit of variance. So now you can see these 4 that we ran. This one actually was one of our blue ones. So we just ran 4. So here's the 3 we ran with Morrison, and then here's when we put the radar on. All right. So still Diva pimped out in the front, maxed out, wins. All right. So lastly, I'm just going to put this on. And again, this is to get you to run these and share the battle reports and have some fun with me doing this stuff, because this is really how I'm going to be spending my time, to be honest with you. I'm down for 6 weeks, guys, surgery. So you're going to be getting a lot of this data to use. It's fun for me to do and find out the truth in some of these things. I'm going to take, I have the 2 here. I'm going to take and give Diva nothing. And instead, let's go full defense. For all those that say full defense. So let's go and see what we get when we just use our mythics only on defense. All right. So let's go, and this will be our final tests that we run. We're going to leave everybody in the same position. Again, I only did this position because I did run 150 samples the other day with no gear, and these 5 ended up being the best position. Again, and this was a run against tank. I'm just running against tank. I can't wait to I can beat this tank in front of me and change this squad and make this air or missile or whatever. So I will be running a bunch of these tests. And I'm going to show you alternate way to run these tests too that I did in the video right after I run this. So let me run some damage. And here you go. So we'll do 7, 2.9, and then Diva 6. And now this is always the one that they call, QB crazy, because QB loves defense, and I always preach defense, and I don't have Diva necessarily in the front. Although I do, as this goes, by the way, I'm not an anti-Diva in the front. It has its place. Like, if you lose a battle and you throw Diva in the front, sometimes you'll win that same battle. But I'll also call out the fact that one of the things you should be asking yourself is, are you winning that battle because Diva was in the front, or did you just win that battle because Skylar hit 7 stuns? You got to watch that video too. You can't just look at the numbers, share the battle reports, and go, "Ha! See, I won. Look what what I did. I put Diva in the front and it worked." Yeah, but there could have been stuns that entered into that picture. So sometimes it's just not a simple story to say. All right. Okay, and here's our numbers. 5 alternate reports we just ran, or 4. I just ran 4 reports, so let me show you the numbers now. We ran, and there you go. What were the consistent numbers here? 48, 48, 47, and 39. So comparable to our 45, 41, 49, 39. So when you're running Diva in the front, all pimped out, you can see what was happening against Tank. And then when you're running only without pimping out Diva, and you only had defense, just defense, not even ramping her up, you could see 48, 48, 47, and 39. And again, the variability, if you're wondering where this 39 comes from, I can guarantee you, if we had watched the video, Skylar just didn't stun. I think you all get it and you all see it. Probably the same way for this, right? Look at, they both had the same thing. 30, you had a high of 49 and 39. Where's that variability? You know where that variability is. And so I wouldn't expect it to see it if it was Tank versus Tank. But I mean, you could. There will be variability with Tank versus Tank because Marshall's buffing, and if you keep him alive, it'll be higher. But if it's the same fight over and over again, my guess is you're going to see a lot similar results than you are when you're running air or against air. So anyway, that's just some sample reports. I hope you're finding it as useful as I am, seeing these numbers, running against these numbers, and know as you're building your teams out in your squad. Like, for example, from these tests that we just ran, I think it proves to you if you're going to run a full geared out Diva, put her in the front, you can get the most damage. You put her in the back, and you may not see as much damage. We didn't run it tonight. Run that sample as well to see. But I'm going to stop there for a sample tonight to do this. I will be running more videos. I do want to share with you one thing. I hope you all enjoyed it to going through this stuff. I plan on doing endless stuff like this for you and hopefully with you and doing it. I mean, look at what we learned tonight. I mean, hey, it's KT. Diva and Skylar. So now I can I don't have to annoy people by saying the names wrong. So another place that you can run these tests that I want you to do is again, I call this, and this came from my own team. Endless and I were talking about. Endless said, this game should give us a sandbox, and it used to give us the arena. And for those of us that geeked out on data, we would change around our squads and change around our gear and use the arena and test all these things out. We had fun with it. And then they gave us 3v3, and then they put the arena, and it's a glorified 3v3. And, blah, blah, blah. I don't have interest. And again, the biggest problem with it that I have is I can't pick my opponent. What I just showed you is apples to apples. In order to do these tests, we have to run it against the same opponents, right? I just want to harp on that because that is the biggest point of this Operation Sandbox that we're doing here, right? Is we're doing it because we can run the test. So here we have this battleground. Another place that I will tell you that I will accept for battle reports is in here when you're going to run trucks. So here, run trucks all you want. I don't know what. Are we running zombies? Or somebody just knows I'm live and hitting me? Cool. All good. So we have trucks. You can hit this truck. You might annoy the people, okay? I'm sure whoever it is probably whoever gets hit with this, and hopefully the WWC changes our game environment, right? And it's just fun. If you start seeing 37 truck attacks, you'll know that WWC is making a difference, okay? But what I'm saying is you can hit this same truck 37 times. You have 3 hours and 6 minutes to change around and hit this truck as much as you want. In your history report, it's going to show you a full battle report of how you did. the numbers are going to be a little different than we just said. I do like the Battlefield one because the numbers are straight, like, the statistics and the attack numbers, which you can come in here and use. It's a little bit easier because that attack pops up immediately and you can run the test faster. But there's less variability. I find that with the truck reports, you can find different opponents faster. So in the Battlefield, it may take you harder. Like once you lose that air, you have to beat a bunch of people to get the air back, right? Or get a tank or get a missile. This way that I'm showing you here will allow you to pick your team. And as long as you're attacking that same truck, then you're keeping what I'm looking for, which is the variability stays the same. So go ahead and find truck. You can find trucks of varying sizes, guys. I found a truck the other day. Look, Dragon. I hit Dragon. So that's the other thing. You can hit sleds, but if people have the tech developed on sleds, I will just warn you, some people do. And if they have the tech on sleds developed in the bottom left, you can only hit it 3 times. But without this, it's unlimited. So sleds, you can try the person and annoy the crap out of them, and they may then turn around and spend 18,000 valor so it doesn't happen to them again. But you can see out here, like I'm sure I can find a gold truck. I mean, you're 32 million. You're going to see variability in the sizes of the trucks, but everybody has them different. The only thing I will tell you that you have to do is the key to these numbers are running against the same person and losing. So lose your battle. Because you want to be able to fight that same person again. If you beat them, then they're going to go away and you're not going to be able to attack them anymore, right? So you want to make sure that you lose, which is why, to me, it's better to get a truck. I will also say this. For, like, Vader or anybody on FSX, ask Hulk to run a truck for you and tell him what truck you're looking for. He'll send it out. You can get together and attack that truck 100 times, right? He'll send it out. You're not going to beat his truck. You'll never have to worry about beating it. You'll be able to test the crap out of it. Same with FS4. You can have CDF or King run whatever. Tell them, hey, can you run, instead of running your sled today, can you run a tank truck for me? I want to test on this. And you can ask them, can you leave your gorilla out and only run whatever squad? Believe me, it's still going to be like a 90 million squad. And it doesn't matter either, by the way. Even if that number is smaller and they're wasting you, the only people that really need to ask them to do it are people that are going to accidentally win and beat the people out here. I'd imagine a lot of people are going to lose and you won't have to worry about if you can find a 50 million truck out here. Here's 45.5 million. And again, you could also try these sleds. I did this against Dragon. Is kind of how I started my relationship with Dragon here. Is I told Dragon, "Hey Dragon, I'm gonna hit your sled I'm gonna hit your sled 40 times. Don't be offended. I'm just running some tests. Are you good with that? Right? You don't want to upset people and make them think that you're picking on them or doing it on purpose, right? Give them a heads up. Say, hey, listen, I'm just running a bunch of tests. I'm gonna lose to you. You're gonna see it on the battle report, and I'm just running tests on you. So just giving you a heads up." And everybody will be fine. You'll actually develop relationships that way. If you're on a server, and when I talk about people like CDF, King, and Hulk, you can do this same thing if you're closer in squad when you're just starting out on your newer servers. Ask the strongest person to throw out whatever truck you want. Ask them to do it, and I'm sure they'll do it. Again, it doesn't matter if they have their gear on, they don't. You can change the variables once you have your sample data, okay? But this is another kind of sandbox that we can play with and discover this data and get these results. Again, I ask that you please share your battle reports in our Discord. Come have the conversation. Let's talk about it. Share it with everybody in our Discord so we can see kind of the summary, the battle reports, talk about it. When people are sharing their results, by the way, take it and try it yourself. Like, validate their reports and then say, hey, I just ran these two and you're 100% valid. Right? But it's where we're going to be able to tell if, we keep hearing all these reports and these people that are VIP 18s that are doing these things. And we want to know, does it matter for a common person to do this, right? I get it. You can buy out the store and your hero squad's 120 million. That's not the common player. Everybody needs those players in their server and they suit. But when we're having these conversations, we want to have these conversations for everybody, right? We want to see who is going to benefit from this is going to be the common player who wants to run these tests and do this data and pull this together. It's not going to be, like if I'm talking with Hulk and Hulk told me like from Sarah, and he's like, oh, you use Sarah, I do this. But he's also, his wall is developed with Sarah. His Sarah is different than mine. I have to work to get my Sarah anywhere close to where he is. We can't have an apples-to-apples conversation. And for you, when I run stuff, it may not be, I'm trying to run the variability so it shows an improvement for me, and that's why I need you to do it as well. Because I'm not apples-to-apples with you. I'm not saying I am in any sense. I'm just trying to find these data points and then push it to you so that you can try it as well and then come back and tell me if it's working. Often people were asking me today on how they should run their reports, and I was looking at their teams and I was saying, and you know why I was giving this advice now for those of you that were asking me, I'm looking at your team and you already have like Diva with the chip and a gun, and I'm saying, all right, throw it on Lucius and throw it on Carly. And that's because I want you to put your defense in front, have it be strong, let Diva cook, and let Skylar run those stuns over and over again. That's what I want to see. And I want your battle reports though. Like, I'm just giving you those examples of why I'm giving you that data. I'm running these tests live like you, and I'm going to find out these data points. Let's do it together to do it, okay? All right, guys, please subscribe. Let me know if you liked the live, everything worked. Let me know if you want to see something different. Hit me up. We're going to be doing some account reviews to see if you guys want us to look and take a look at stuff. We can learn live samples. I'd love to have you on. If you'd like to be on to run some of those live tests with us on here and show your experience of what your team looks like. Everybody has these different experiences and their teams look different. So please hit me up. Let's have a conversation. There is not anybody who's left a comment, by the way, I do not respond to. So I will respond to you if you hit me on Discord. I respond to you if you hit me in the game. I respond to you in YouTube. I appreciate you reaching out. And my give back is I'm not ignoring you. I will hit you back. It may take me some time because there's an awful lot of DMs and messages, but I will get back to you because it means a great deal to me, that you're out there and you're interested. So everybody, have a great night. Thank you for joining me. Talk soon. QB18 out.